Hi, neighbor. I could really use your help today. I'm Tim Maudlin, husband, adoptive parent, Bible class teacher, and ambassador of encouragement. I would like to welcome you to another unplugged episode of Anchors of Encouragement. I am out getting a quick walk in before we have any more pop-up showers today. You might be able to hear the thunder rumbling in the distance. The birds are singing right now, and there's some raindrops falling from the leaves from an earlier shower. I wanted to record this episode because there has been something on my mind for quite a while now, and I realized the only way I'm going to get the answers that I need is to ask you. This podcast is approaching its 1-year anniversary, which, again, to me, as I've said before, I can't imagine I would have ever done a podcast in the first place. But here we are, approaching the 1-year anniversary and almost 80 episodes. As I have looked back, I have noticed different episodes trending better than others. This is not something I look at every day, but in order to gauge the interest of the podcast, it's nice for me to see which episodes are downloaded more. It's been really cool to see how many countries this podcast is being listened to in. Countries I didn't even know the names of, to be honest with you. But this podcast has a worldwide distribution. And as I look at these metrics, there has been one episode, episode 17, that has outpaced every other episode. It's blown by every other episode by a wide margin. The title for episode 17 is Struggling Adoptive Parents, 3 Ways to Restore the Sparkle in Their Eyes. This episode 17, has been downloaded today. It's the top episode every month, and I'm not sure why. I have some ideas, but I don't know with certainty why this episode is resonating so much with you. And that's why I need your help. And I'll tell you how you can help me in just a moment. The reason I'm asking for feedback is because that will help me to produce more content that will encourage you. The goal of this podcast is to provide biblical mindset support for adoptive parents. I do that through telling stories about my own personal experiences through adoption and adoption trauma. And when there is a topic that I don't feel qualified to talk about, I bring experts on the show to speak to those particular issues. Some of those episodes have trended very high, and you can expect more interviews from those people. I've reached out to those individuals, and they're going to come back on the show and talk to you some more. One episode in particular that was an interview was episode 18 with Dr. Joan Kent, where she talked about sugar addiction. And the reason I bring that up is twofold. One is that's one of the highest rated episodes. But number two, and more importantly, that episode, I know for certainty, has helped one of the listeners of this podcast because he told me. That episode was recorded, again, early on when this podcast first started. This individual was inspired by Dr. Kent's discussion of sugar addiction, and he realized he had a sugar addiction in his life. That episode and the training she provided encouraged him to give up sugar. He has gone over 260 days without sugar. He has dropped 60 pounds. He feels better. He looks better. He's healthier than he has ever been. I don't share that story to pat myself on the back. Not at all. I share that because feedback like what he provided me helps me to know what kind of content is helping people and what kind of content people want to hear. I don't have that kind of feedback for episode 17. There have been other episodes that I've received feedback about, and that's been helpful because I understand the type of messaging you want to hear and the type of messaging you need to hear. That's why I'm coming on today, because I need that kind of feedback for episode 17 so that I can understand what is it about that episode that has spoken to so many of you. Let's get to your daily doable. I would really appreciate your feedback for episode 17. I'm going to try to make that as easy as possible for you to provide to me. In the show notes, there will be a link to episode 17. If you haven't listened to it yet, I would encourage you to click on the link and listen to it and see what speaks to you. It's 13 minutes, and I don't take those 13 minutes that you're going to invest in that episode lightly. I really appreciate the fact that you have invested any time at all listening to me. It's my hope that I can encourage you in some fashion through this podcast. If you have listened to the episode, maybe it's been a while, please re-listen to it. And then here's how you can provide your feedback. In addition to the link for the podcast itself, there will be a link to a short survey. In that survey, I will provide some of the reasons I think it's popular. Those might not be your reasons. If they aren't, there will also be an opportunity in that survey for you to write your own reasons. And then I will provide a link that you can leave me a voicemail. Click on the link. It's real easy. Speak your comments and your reasons. I'll receive them. This feedback is priceless for me because, as I've said many times on this podcast, the goal of this is to be an anchor of encouragement for adoptive parents. I know what I needed when we were going through our adoption issues and trauma. And I've heard enough from some of you that you need this too. So please, I would encourage you to take a few minutes to provide your feedback to me. And I believe as we come together as an Anchors of Encouragement community, we can help one another navigate some of the challenges that adoption trauma can present. As you can probably hear, the rain is starting to fall again. I'm going to need to wrap up and go back inside. I want to thank you in advance for helping me understand what it is about episode 17 that has spoken to so many of you. So until next time, this is Tim, encouraging you to do what you can now.